Welcome to My Bulblet and My Bulblet and Me, an advice podcast for plants by plants. I'm your host today, Connor the Dandelion. Here I have two guests with me.
I'm Brian the Cactus.
I'm Roy. I'm an oat.
Wonderful. So first on our agenda, before we get into our self-help advice, a message from our sponsors. Eat ass. It's healthy, nutritious, and straight from Mother Earth.
As a plant, I already only eat shit, so moving to eat ass was the next logical step.
Also, it's cruelty-free. So do us all a favor. Save a life. Eat ass.
Eat ass.
Yes.
All right. So, Brian, I hear that your cousin last week was diagnosed with a fungal infection.
Yeah, it was the saddest thing. He came over for a visit in a clay pot. We were sitting out next to each other on the porch, basking in the sun, and I saw the white coming up below him, the white fungus, and he started wilting.
It's so hard to say goodbye to loved ones so soon.
There's just nothing you can do for somebody, for a plant, a poor helpless plant in that position.
It's true. I was talking to Terry Grass the other day from Farm Fresh Air, and we were discussing the challenges that death faces for us and presents to us in a modern world, in a modern plant world. And it truly is the greatest of plant struggles, and the greatest of struggles for all life.
Exactly. Remember, when your mom says wash your roots, really don't. Get in there and get clean, otherwise fungus might take you too. Plant hygiene is nothing to joke about.
Amen. Amen. Well, we have a letter from a listener today that we're going to read and provide a little bit of advice. Okay, so here it is. Dear Connor, Roy, and Brian, over the weekend I was home alone. My wife and children were out of town, and I fell backwards and got a can of Pam stuck inside my xylem. Do you have any advice on what I can do about this predicament?
Wow, that is a toughie.
Signed, John, the Lotus.
You gotta cut it off.
All right, John the Lotus. Well, I'm not quite sure, but I think lotuses are tubers. So if you might be inclined to just slice it right off.
Yeah, I mean, my first advice, of course, would be to go for the cambrium. But obviously, in a lotus, we don't have that luxury. But I encourage you to seek immediate medical care, John.
Yeah.
This is clearly no laughing matter.
It could get so much worse if you don't take care of this now. It could be a bigger problem next week.
Right, that Pam might just get stuck inside there, clog up all your spores, and you'll be done for.
My aunt died of clogged spores.
My cousin. Fungal infection. He was so young.
I'm sorry,
I'm so
Brian.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm good. I'll be okay. I'll get another one next week.
These are trying times for us all. And lastly, for our weekly column, we have advice from the garden. Here's a little weekly self-help tip PSA. Remember, kids, when you're playing on the playground, watering your friends, make sure to use only pure water. If you don't use pure water, some of you have been watering each other with Coca-Cola, Sprite, and even other golden fluids. And when you're doing that, remember, it can damage your xylem, your phylum, your leaves, your spores, and maybe even make you a late bloomer. So remember, keep it clean, fellas. Say no to alternative watering.
And as always, buy Big Joe's fertilizer. Same shit taste, great shit flavor.
Thank you. This has been My Bulblet and My Bulblet and Me. Play us out.